Try That, the beer review and news podcast.
Here in London.
Ding dong.
This week we're trying a London Pale Ale from Greenwich with Meantime Brewery, but first, the hop topic.
Hop topic. Let's move on to hop topic.
So, Simmo, what have you got for us?
So I thought for a good hop topic, as you say, we could do 10 beer jokes to make you happier.
Oh, everyone loves a good joke. I'm all about the jokes. Let's
But
go.
Simmo, you're well known for awful jokes.
That may be true. However, these aren't my jokes, so you never know.
But I'd also say there's an art form in the bad joke. Like, you know, the dad jokes. Like, they're the really bad puns and the really bad... I mean, we are obviously doing our own beer puns at the moment every Friday on Punny Friday. So we're all a big fan here of the jokes. So hit us, Simmo. Hit us with some of these jokes.
I'm expecting some of these to be absolutely shocking. So if anything, it might be hilarious with that factor. So I got this from the Darwin Brewing Company. The first one is, so this beer tastes like I am going to call you later.
What?
That is a terrible joke.
I don't get...
I don't understand it.
Neither do I. Hang on.
Great, we're off to a good start. Next one.
Wish you were beer.
Yeah.
Love a good pun. Yeah, I might use that one, actually. That might come out on the Friday.
I think we have used that one before.
IPA a lot when I drink beer.
Oh.
That's actually gold.
How do you PAs?
No, IP a lot. So they're using the
Oh.
IPA. You see.
It's a
So,
grower, that one. That's a
Well,
grower.
they're slowly getting better.
Technically speaking, beer is a solution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good one.
I really like that one. Simmo, I'm just going to give you a bit of feedback. You need to work on your delivery. Okay?
Yeah. Don't pack in the day job.
No,
that's for sure.
Just take 5 seconds, set yourself up, then go in. I'm ready. We're all here for you, Simmo. We're rooting for you to win.
Okay, here we go. Beer is never the answer. Beer is the question. And yes is the answer.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, you've gone very game show host all of a sudden.
It's about exuding confidence, guys. It's about exuding that confidence.
Oh my God. Stop exuding things.
It also sounds like you were asking a question the whole way through, even when it came to the answer.
I've got one for you. This beer tastes like I'm not going to work tomorrow. I feel like we've covered a good portion there of beer jokes. Any other crackers that you've got, Simmo?
Oh! I tell you what, this is actually my favourite. I think. Okay. You ready? Drabwell, I know you're
I
excited.
can't wait.
Beer doesn't make you fat. It makes you lean against walls, tables, and chairs.
That's a fantastic start to the show. Thank you very much for that, Sim. Let's get into the Pursuit of Hoppiness.
If you guys don't mind, Pursuit of Hoppiness time.
Okay, this week we're staying very close to home here in London, and we're going over to Greenwich to the Meantime Brewery. Now, Meantime was proudly born in London, and they claim that they're brewed for all. But, Rich, maybe you can kind of give us a bit more of an explanation as to what they're all about over at Meantime.
Meantime Brewery was set up in 1999. Was set up by Alistair Hook in the Greenwich area, and that seems to really resonate with their designs on their clock and because as we all know, Greenwich is the home of time. We've got the Greenwich Meantime line. Is it the Greenwich line or the Meantime? I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, it's the Greenwich Meantime is the internet it's the international starting point of all.
That's
time.
the one.
It sounds super crazy, but so here in the UK, in London specifically, in Greenwich, is where the international date line goes down, and that's where you get 00, Greenwich Mean Time. And then everyone else in the rest of the world, you're either plus or minus that time.
So what's really nice is Meantime Brewery has really embraced this idea. They've really worked on their location, like a lot of brewing companies do. And they've donned their can out in a really nice watch theme would be going all the way around it. So if you listen to the podcast now, have maybe not seen it, maybe just have a quick Google and just take a look. And they've really stepped into this really nice. On the one we're drinking, it's yellow, isn't it? Like a yellow, black and white logo. And they've really, really embraced it. And which they seem to have done across the whole of their branding structure and strategy, which is really cool.
Well, what I think is so fascinating about this is they've dominated their canned colour in black, which is usually quite different for this craft beer industry. I know they've been around since 1999, but, I would say that Meantime hits in that UK craft beer scene, but they've obviously got this green, which is where the Meantime, kind of logo is, which is this big, quite, I don't know, almost like 3D styled, like M. But then they're using pops of colour to transition you through their different products. So, the London Pale Ale here is yellow. They have a Yakima Red, which is red, which is personally one of my favourite drinks of all time. I just found Yakima Red and was like, I needed this in my life way sooner. Their Anytime IPA is like kind of this kind of turquoise colour. So, they're just using colour, but in a very subtle way, in that colour is a bold pop, but the majority of the pack is black, and that is very unusual.
They seem to care about the product that they've created. They seem to put a lot of time and a lot of effort into it. And the way they describe themselves, we're the pioneers of modern craft beer. We're passionate about what we do, and we're not prepared to compromise. That's why we brew quality, flavour-packed, sessionable beers that everyone can enjoy. So they're kind of showing the demographic that they want, and they want you to be able to, they're sessionable. They want you to be able to drink a lot of it, which I think I could.
Yeah, it's very tasty as a liquid. It's it goes down really well, and I've Meantime's been on my radar for a while, but their pale ale is, they refer to it as a London Pale Ale. Now, there's nothing that makes it a London Pale Ale other than the fact that it's got English and American hops in it, and it's brewed in London. So there isn't anything that makes a London Pale Ale significant. But I do quite like that marry of, the English and the British and American hops. They refer to it on their packaging as, now that's a special relationship. Obviously, a bit of a play on words, a bit of a pun on the kind of the American-English special relationship that we all keep talking about. So
before today, I've always thought that Meantime would be a highly accessible beer, because I've heard about it, I know about it, all my friends have said it's a great beer. However, trying to access this at a supermarket was a nightmare for me. I had to go to 4 different places, and I end up in the last place, of course, because when you search for something, it's always the last destination. I'm currently living in Woking, which is not that far away from London, and I expected it to be everywhere. And it wasn't.
Well, that's a really surprising statement, because I'm just looking up like their brewing and what they're doing. And as we learned a few episodes back, all about hectolitres, and they were hoping by 2016 to be able to do 120,000 hectolitres of beer a year. So that's a mad amount. That's a huge number.
Huge volume.
And I'm with you, Simmo. I struggled to get Meantime as well, and I visited 3 big, quite popular supermarkets, and it wasn't in there.
220,000 hectolitres. That's huge volume. It's kind of one of those more established craft beers, I suppose, is probably a right way of putting it. Looking back at, the history of Meantime, as you mentioned, Rich, it started out by Alistair Cook, and he returned home from studying traditional beer styles in Europe and started brewing from his own flat in Greenwich. That's where Meantime started, So he found the Meantime London brand, to brew great tasting beer that everyone can enjoy. That was kind of the whole premise that he started out. But, fast forward to 2019 and, the international premium craft had exploded, growing at a rate of, 25% globally. But it had become a very complex and inaccessible, to all but the most ardent hopheads. So Meantime's whole purpose is trying to cut through this craft beer jargon, as it were. We are just trying to create good beer for everyone.
Well, I was going to say, you can tell that they have been doing something right, because all of the big brewers have noticed them, sort of thing, and they were brought out by SAB Miller in 2015, I believe. Yeah, so they were brought out in May of 2015. And then when SAB Miller was going down, they were brought out by Anheuser-Busch or A&B Bev. But Meantime wasn't actually brought or integrated into the A&B Bev family. They were taken over by Asahi, which was one of our favourite Asian beers that we tried earlier on.
So Asahi, through the acquisition or the collapse, I suppose, of SAB Miller, have now a big footing in the UK and Europe as a whole. And yeah, so they have Grolsch for Asahi. I know this isn't an Asahi episode, but we've already done that. But they have Grolsch through that, and they also have Fuller's, which is a very big and established London brewery. They have London Pride Fuller's and Frontier, which is their kind of like craft beer.
I was going to ask you a few questions on, so on their website, they have rankings of 1 to 6 per beer of certain aspects of every drink. Okay. So for instance, the London Pale Ale, which is a citrusy, hoppy, sessionable beer, which is 4.3, which we're having today. Okay. They have numbers for their malt, their fruit, their hoppy, their sweet, their bitter, and their mouth feel. Now, I want to test both of you boys, and I want to see how close you can get to the number. So the max number you can have is 6, and the lowest number obviously is a 1. So we're going to just fly through. So malt, what number, Joe, do you think out of 6 for this beverage you're having now?
4.
I was going to say 3.
Okay, unfortunately it's a 5, but Joe wins that round. So congratulations, Joe. Okay, so we're now going to go for fruit. Joe, go for it.
No, let Rich go first. Give him a chance.
Okay,
I'm gonna go 4.
Okay, Joe.
I think this is a 2 on the fruit.
So it's a 5 for fruit.
Yeah.
So Drabwell wins. That's 1-1. Okay, so we're going to go to hoppy now. So we're going to the hoppiness of the beverage. Joe, you're up.
2.
I'm gonna go 3.
Okay, so we've got a 6 on hoppiness. It's very interesting that it was so far out. So Joe, you win that round. So that's 2-1. Now we're going to go to sweet. So sweetness, Drabwell.
I'm gonna go 6.
Okay, Joe.
1.
Joe wins again because it's only a 3 with the sweetness. So we're on 3-1.
Wait. How does Joe win?
It's like in the middle, so it's a tie.
Yeah.
Fine.
And if we're going to go anything, you round up, so I would win.
No, that's you always round down.
Okay, so it's 2-1 still. It's 2-1 still. Okay, so bitterness and Drabwell, you get to go first.
I'm going to go 3.
I think this is a 4 on the bitterness scale.
So it's a 6. It's a 6. So Joe wins the round on 3-1. So at the moment, Drabwell, all you can do is lose graciously. So the last part is mouth feel.
And this is still a number rating for mouthfeel.
Yeah, mouth feel 1 to 6.
I don't understand this. Okay, my mouthfeel, I'd have to give that a 4.
Okay, a mouth feel of a 4.
I feel it really grips and sticks to my tongue, so I'm going to go right up with 6. 6.
Oh, okay, so yeah. Drabbo, bang on the money with a 6. And to be fair, because of that, because he got bang on the money, Drabbo wins.
You've always been better at placing your numbers of your mouthfeel than I have.
He's got a really texturous mouth.
So bringing it back to Alistair, found out something really interesting. He was the first person in the UK to earn a master's degree in brewing and was voted the Brewer of the Year in 2008. And this is not just the UK Brewer of the Year, but the World Brewer of the Year in 2008. Quite an accolade. Quite an accolade.
I hope he gets a really nice plaque.
I've had a few beers today. We'll just keep on going. So, Meantime Brewery, they had some really interesting news, but there was one bit of news that really, really stuck out, and it was the goat race. Have you heard of this?
No. A goat race?
A goat race. It's pretty self-explanatory, but every year they sponsor the goat race, and they use 2 goats from a local London farm. And then they have a race down the street, and each race is one is called Oxford and the other one is called Cambridge, and they have a race against each other. About 1,200 people turn up, but and it's all sponsored by Meantime Brewery, and it's to raise money for the farm because it's like a charitable farm, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
Which I think is really nice.
Yeah, that's really.
But I also really like the rule that if both the goats cross the finish line at the same time, they decide the race at who can eat a carrot the quickest.
Nice. Nice. I feel like the Oxford-Cambridge boat race has a thing or two to learn about this goat race.
I would love to see two highly trained competitors chomping down a carrot at the end of a race. I would watch it. That would be...
Right, Joe, I feel like you need to give us some Instagram and Twitter numbers.
Okay, so on Instagram, they have... Oh, hang on. Lovely photo of Alistair Hook on their Instagram, pushing some beer around. Just spotted.
Good man.
Nice.
So Instagram, they have 11.3k followers. And on Twitter, they have 32.1k followers.
Are they good numbers?
Yeah, more than what you expect from, a brand that's actually getting invested in.
Yeah.
That's actually owned by a larger organisation of Asahi. But I think they're very autonomous. I think they do their own thing. I think Asahi just helps them. I don't know what their actual relationship is, but Asahi certainly owns them. But it feels like just on the look and feel on their website, through Instagram, through, what I know about Meantime is that they are very much like Alistair's still in control, and the team at Meantime are very much Meantime people. They're not like Asahi people as well. So I think that's just interesting to see. For me anyway, as someone who's kind of come into London, I haven't grown up here. I enjoy Meantime. This is I'm open to these kind of newer breweries who are very London specific and putting London on the map for its craft beer scene.
Yeah.
And I think Meantime epitomizes that, in that they're a really good brewer. There's nothing I've seen from them that's, from the good efficacious of their product, the efficacy of their product being really strong, to their branding and what they're doing for the communities is really on point.
That's good.
I think if you can get hold of one, you definitely need to try it.
3,
Done?
2, 1, finish.
Yeah, sweet.
And that's all we have time for from this week's episode of the I'll Try That podcast. And so from me, Joe,
Rich,
and Simmo,
goodbye. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram,
Twitter,
and watch us on YouTube.
Goodbye now. Always drink responsibly, and if you or anyone else needs some help, go to drinkaware.co.uk for more information.